Hello out there in YouTube land. It's Brendan again. Um, so yeah, uh, Beanie is there because my wife and I went out and played in the snow today, and this beanie actually messed up my hair, so I'm wearing the same thing to hide my messy hair. Um, so first things first, a little housekeeping. If you give a suggestion in the comments for a topic, I'll still do it. But for the most part now, I'm just gonna come up with comments on, or with topics on my own. Nobody is leaving comments, they're just kind of watching a couple minutes of the video and then moving on. Don't know why, but hopefully that will change soon. Second bit of housekeeping is I'm gonna address the thing about clickbaiting. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the topic and title. I think that kind of ruins a little bit of the mystery. Actually, it ruins the mystery completely. But people were complaining. A couple people were complaining about clickbait, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and eliminate that. It's silly because to me clickbait isn't a bad thing, unless they're being absolutely heinous about it and basically lying on the title to get people to click. I wasn't doing that. I was being vague in the title on purpose for that purpose to get people to click on it. I mean, I guess that could be considered clickbait, but I don't see anything wrong with being vague in the title and talking about what the title is about. But whatever, I'll just get rid of that. Get rid of that concern. So yeah, that's that. As you see in the title, today's topic is again a rather geeky one. Superhero movies. My thoughts on them. Some problems I see with them. I'm gonna mainly focus on Marvel. I'm not that into DC. I didn't see Batman vs Superman. I didn't see Suicide Squad, which isn't really a superhero movie to begin with, but I mean, I heard so many bad things about those, and I saw enough in the trailers, because let's face it, the trailers basically spoiled everything. People would talk about not wanting to see spoilers on Facebook. Yeah, don't watch the trailers then, because they'll basically tell you everything. I mean, the trailer for Batman v Superman showed the climax, basically. Doomsday coming out and all that. Yeah, that's basically the climax of the movie. And they completely ruined Doomsday, by the way. Yeah. That movie was just, from what I heard, just so rushed and whatever. Anyway, so mainly Marvel. Let's just say Marvel superhero movies. So Marvel Cinematic Universe. Got a rough start. A lot of people don't quite realize the Marvel Cinematic Universe actually started with the very first Hulk movie, The Hulk. That movie was horrible. It had pacing issues, acting issues. It did that weird thing where it had the comic book panels moving, and it was just, I don't know who was in charge of that decision, but they needed to be fired because it was horrible and distracting, and the CG was really bad even for that time. So yeah, they kind of moved on from that and ignore and pretend that movie never happened. I haven't seen that movie in years and years and years. Probably will never see it again. I think everybody just kind of pretends that movie never happened. Probably for the better. Anyway, next came Iron Man. That movie was fantastic. I personally enjoy all the Iron Man movies. A lot of people are down on Iron Man 2 and 3. Yeah, they weren't as good as the first one. they had their issues. I did not like what they did with the villain in the third movie. I didn't like what they did with the Mandarin. That was that was a bad choice. So yeah, they definitely have their problems. So those movies are great standalone movies, just by themselves they're good. Same with Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier. So the earlier Marvel movies are really, really good. Then the Avengers happens. You get the first Avengers movie, and it's fantastic. It's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It's sold out everywhere for weeks. The first time I saw the Avengers, it was 2 weeks after it came out. It was a daytime showing 2 weeks after it came out, and it was still sold out. Like, it was selling out daytime showings 2 weeks after it came out. It was nuts. Huge phenomenon. So, the first Avengers movie is fantastic. Amazing movie. But it seems like to me, after the Avengers came out, with a couple exceptions that I'll get to, the quality of the movies kind of declined. They just didn't seem as good. Like, I think a big part of the problem is Marvel stopped focusing on just making good standalone movies and started focusing on building the cinematic universe and building up the story. Like, it's to the point now where you really can't see a Marvel movie without having seen all the other Marvel movies. Like, with Captain America Civil War, for example, you can't watch that movie without having seen the other ones. Avengers Age of Ultron is another great example of that. They make so many references to events in the other movies that if you go in and just see that, you're gonna be confused. Avengers Age of Ultron was, to me, not that good, by the way. It was okay, but it just... They tried to take a 24... in the comics, I believe Age of Ultron was 24 issues of the comics. And they tried to cram it into a 2.5 hour movie. I mean, we're talking a complicated story arc that involved dozens and dozens and dozens of Marvel characters. A lot of whom, like, I understand why Marvel didn't do it the way it was in the comics, because a lot of it had to do with the X-Men, specifically Wolverine. It would have been complicated. It would have been difficult. Impossible? No. I mean, look what they're doing with Sony right now with Spider-Man, which is fantastic. I'm really excited about that. The fact that Marvel is not going to be doing Spider-Man. That Sony finally wised up and said, yeah, we've messed up with this character. We're going to let you guys do it. We'll kind of help, but we're going to let you guys take the helm on this. So I wish Fox would do that with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Because, yeah. Oh boy. A couple of the X-Men movies have been good. But then you have the other ones that weren't good. X-Men 3, anybody? Yeah. And then Fantastic Four, let's not even go there, because nobody has ever made a good Fantastic Four movie. They've made semi-tolerable ones. The first Fantastic Four movie that they made in the early 2000s was... No, the second one, The Rise of Silver Surfer. First one was terrible. Second one was tolerable. Let's put it that way. Tolerable. That's a good way of putting it. Watchable. Watchable because of how bad it was, but it was at least entertaining, right? Anyway, if they gave Marvel the reins like that, I mean, they could have done so much more. They changed a lot of things in Age of Ultron, though, that I didn't like, and that I don't feel like they needed to change. For example, Tony Stark did not create Ultron. Hank Pym created Ultron. But then they went and changed it so that Hank Pym wasn't even Ant-Man. Why? It's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary to change that. I think it had something to do with the timing. And again, that's the issue. They are so focused on building the cinematic universe that they're changing the stories so they can build their cinematic universe. And that's leading to movies that you cannot see without having seen all the other movies, which, from a business standpoint, is a good move. But from a making a good movie standpoint, not so much. Like initially they started out just kind of hinting at the other movies. And then the Avengers happens and brings all those movies together, and they kind of forgot to just kind of subtly tie the movies together, and now they're just trying to cram the movies together and make them inseparable. I mean, you have a few gems out there, like Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic, and it's a standalone movie, and as a standalone movie, it's fantastic. I mean, it just is. Captain America Civil War, not so much standalone. If you were to watch that movie without having seen any of the other Marvel movies, like having at least seen the first Avengers movie, first Captain America movie, the first Iron Man movie, you'd be lost. You would lose out on a lot of references. You wouldn't know very well what's going on. Actually, no, you would have to see Age of Ultron too, because they reference Age of Ultron a lot in that movie. And that's kind of a downfall. That's actually a very big downfall, because not everybody has the time to watch all those movies. And it's going to put a lot of people off. It's going to make them not want to see it, because I can't watch this without having seen all these other movies. I gotta watch all these other movies. I don't have the time for that. And it's going to put people off. It really is. I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. I want to. But I've heard that it's pretty good, pretty well standalone, because it's introducing a new character. They tend to do those movies super well. The introduction of a new character, they really do a good job on that. Like with Captain America 1, Thor, or Captain America 2 was better than Captain America 1. Winter Soldier was better than the first Captain America, the first Avenger. Kind of flipped one there. But with like the first Thor movie, the first Iron Man movie, the good Incredible Hulk movie, like these movies where they're introducing the characters, they tend to do a really good job on those. And apparently Lightning wanted to be in the video. So they do a really good job on that. Except I've heard they didn't do a very good job with Ant-Man. I heard Ant-Man was kind of boring. I haven't seen that one either. Never really heard of Ant-Man before the cinematic before that movie came out. Before I heard about that movie, I'm like, oh, Ant-Man, okay. From what I've heard, he's more of a minor Avengers character. I don't know why they're trying to make a big deal out of him. There aren't that many Ant-Man fans from what I've heard. But that's what they're doing. Oh well. I have high hopes for the Black Panther movie. I'm sure that will be good. Of course, the Spider-Man movie is probably going to be great because Marvel is actually doing their character. And when they do that, they do it well. But basically, my point is when they're introducing the character, when they're giving the character their own solo movie, they do a great job. It's when they try to tie it in and tie it all together in the cinematic universe that's when they stumble. Because they get so focused on trying to make the cinematic universe that they forget to make a good movie. This is how I've heard several people put it. So yeah, that's basically what my thoughts are on that. They basically need to stop trying to make the universe and trying to force that, and just make good movies, because that's what people want to see. The rate they're going, though, I think that people are going to get burned out. They're making so many Marvel movies that they're releasing, I think, 2 a year now. Yeah. This last year it was Marvel Civil War and Captain America Civil War and Doctor Strange. This year it's going to be Black Panther and I think Spider-Man Homecoming. And then next year is Thor Ragnarok and I think the first part of Infinity War. I mean, they're releasing 2 a year, and I think that people are going to start getting burned out unless they really do something to fix the issues they're having. They need to start focusing again on making just good movies, rather than, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out this year too. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is next year. Or you're going to do 3 this year. I don't know. Anyway, they need to start focusing on just making good movies. That's what people want to see. People want to see their superheroes doing cool stuff. They don't want to see a cinematic universe being built. That's just my 2 cents. So anyway, guys, not quite sure what I'm going to do for the next one yet, but I'm going to just start doing the topics myself. If you want to leave a comment with a topic suggestion, please do. That will help me. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Topic suggestions definitely help, because thinking of them all on my own can get a little difficult, because I gotta get a 15 to 20 minute video out of it. That's what I like to keep my videos at, somewhere in that range. Maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter, but usually right around there. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.